Hello, everyone, and welcome. Okay, I think that we are ready to start. So I would like to introduce myself in the beginning. So my name is Aneta, and I am a corporate branding and corporate branding and communication manager at Brightnet, and I will have a pleasure to host our today's webinar, today's meeting. So welcome to the Brightnet webinar about AI and structured data. As you probably all know, in today's competitive business environment, integrating data analytics, cloud infrastructure, and AI is crucial for success. And especially for companies like from industries like logistics, manufacturing, insurance and banking, retail, or for example, wholesales in countries like Germany, Belgium, and Poland. And of course, companies generate large volumes of data daily. So every day we really receive a huge amount of value of information. But the truth is that without the right tools, it remains underutilized. So by combining data from multiple sources, businesses really can gain real-time insights for faster decision making and also for improving efficiency and of course customer centricity. So AI-driven analytics, of course, optimize processes like, for example, inventory management and fraud detection, while cloud infrastructure can enable scalability and cost effectiveness, cost efficiency. So the webinar will explore how adopting those technologies can revolutionize operations and of course, drive growth, because that's a goal for us. So maybe let's start discovering it together today. In the beginning, I would like to take a quick look into our today's agenda. So we will start with the welcome part. I believe that we already started it, but once again, I'm very happy to see you all today with us, that you joined our webinar, and that you are interested in the subject of AI and structured data. Next part of the presentation of our today's meeting will be also introduction of our today's speakers, Magdalena and Piotr. And next, in the end of our webinar, we will also have a space for you guys to ask questions, and we will provide all answers to those questions during the webinar. But don't worry, if we will be run out of time, if there will be no space enough to answer to all questions, we will also summarize everything in the email after this webinar, providing all answers to the questions that you have, and also sharing with you the recording from today's sessions. And we will end quickly with a short summary. And before we will start the official part, I would like to also give you the short instruction. How can you ask the questions during the webinar? So you need to click on the icon in the right bottom corner. And then when you click it, you can open a pop-up box. Then you can choose the Q&A session, click it. And the next very simple step is just to ask the question. Then it will be visible for us. We can then provide you the answer. And as I mentioned, if there won't be enough time for us to answers to all questions that you will have, we'll provide all the answers in the end, in the summary of today's webinar. So I would like to welcome warmly our today's speakers, Piotr Wegner and Magdalena Jagiełło. I would like to start with introduction of Piotr, and Piotr Wegner is a Solutions Management Director at Brightnet. Piotr is an accomplished professional with really extensive experience in the IT industry. He graduated of MBA IT program, combining his technological expertise with managerial skills. And as Solutions Management Director at Brightnet, he promotes a product-oriented approach and develops innovative strategies. So with his expertise in international tenders, client-centric service delivery, and team leadership, Piotr really plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of the Brightnet services for the European markets. And also, Piotr has been associated with our company, with Brightnet, for over 8 years right now. So, Piotr, I'm very happy that you're here today with us. You are very welcome.
Hello.
And Magdalena Jagiełło is our Sales Director Poland at Brightnet, with over 12 years of experience in IT industry. She's currently serving a sales director role at Brightnet, focusing on business growth by creating effective sales strategies. And of course, what is crucial, building strong relationships with our clients in Poland. And Magda believes that the trust in integrity are the foundation of every successful partnership. In her projects, she really emphasized proactivity, openness, and collaborative approach, enabling her to effectively address client needs and, of course, support them in achieving their goals. So hello, Magda. We are very happy that you are here with us.
Hey, Aneta. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Okay, so going deeper into the subject of AI and data, I would like to start with a question, because we know that AI and data analysis are transforming industries in a really profound ways. And from Brighton perspective, with its deep expertise in delivering AI solutions, why is leveraging AI and data integration becoming a critical priority for business today? Magda, I would maybe start with you in this question. Could you please answer for it?
Yes, sure. Once again, thank you for the introduction, Aneta. And I think that when we are talking about AI and data integration as critical priority for businesses today, I would like to start with some very obvious statement that in general, basing operations on data is already a standard across all industries and all sectors. You have already mentioned a few of them. And we are surrounded by so much data and information that it would be just a shame not to use it. So AI and real data integration are just the next natural steps in this data journey that has already started years ago. AI is actually a way that can lead us to gain some significant competitive advantage, can help us cross existing borders. But on the other hand, not all organizations are ready for this, and it is totally okay. And also not every organization would like to be a part of it, and it is also okay. But I believe that those companies who decide to go down this AI path will face the possibility, the opportunity of distinguishing themselves in the marketplace in this meaningful way.
Thank you very much. And Piotr, what do you think about it? Do you agree with Magda?
Yeah, of course. But I would add to that in today's company, I mean, in every company, there are two key drivers. So increasing the revenue and reducing the costs, and basing on data integrations, leveraging AI solutions, we can effectively increase our operational efficiency. We can optimize our processes. Of course, we can reduce the costs as well. And so we cannot forget about innovation as a competitive advantage in this context, because it drives companies forward into the future.
Okay, thank you very much. So going deeper into the subject, Piotr, as BrightNet has supported businesses in achieving seamless data integration, how can companies ensure effective integration of data for multiple sources to enable decision-making across their really complex operations?
Yeah. So you always need to start with the why. So why do you want to do that? What specific business questions are you trying to answer with this integrated data? What decisions will it support? Do you want to improve customer segmentation, or maybe optimize supply chain, or I don't know, predict some risk factors? Then how will you measure the success of your data integration project, right? So if there is no real business reason, there is no point in starting to build a broad integration platform at all. Then you have to identify all sources of the data. So this might include databases, CRMs, ERPs, cloud applications, social media streams, I don't know, even flat files, you name it. But that's not all. You have to understand data formats and structures. So are you dealing with structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data? What are the data types? What are the volumes of the data in common, right? And what are the velocities of this data? So then you need to assess the accuracy, completeness, and consistency of the data. So it's essential to identify potential data quality issues early on. Then you have to choose the appropriate integration approach based on your business needs, right? So You can use ETL, ELT, data virtualization, or API integration to connect applications and systems for the data exchange. And selecting the right tools and technologies is essential as well, right? So businesses can use data integration platforms like, I don't know, Informatica, Talent, MuleSoft, or cloud-based data warehouses such as Snowflake or Redshift or Databricks. So there are many solutions on the market right now, but you need to fit it to your specific needs, right? And of course, you cannot forget about data quality and governance. These involve profiling and cleansing data to standardized formats, right? You need to correct errors. You need to address missing values in your data. So implement master data management is crucial to establish a trusted view of key business entities, and it ensures that your data is secure. It is compliant with regulations like, for example, GDPR.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. But going a bit deeper into that, Piotr, once businesses already achieve seamless integration, what are Brightnet's recommended best practices for implementing AI-driven analytics to optimize supply chains and inventory management, especially in those high-value sectors like retail or wholesale?
Yeah. So once the data foundation is solid, right? So only then you can start to using AI, start to leveraging AI, and on the solid foundation, AI can really shine in all the things you mentioned, right? So optimizing supply chains, inventory management, etc. So you can leverage machine learning to analyze historical sales data, right? So seasonality, promotions, even external factors like weather. Traditional forecasting often relies on simple historical averages, basic statistical models. But if you start using AI, it takes it to the next level by incorporating a much wider range of data points and using much more sophisticated algorithms to uncover hidden patterns and relationships. So imagine a retailer trying to predict demand for cold, of course, non-alcoholic beer. So AI can analyze not just past sales, but also real-time weather forecasts, social media trends, even local sport events, and some other economic indicators, right? And with this AI-powered forecasting, it's not set it and forget it. It's like an ongoing process. The best systems continuously learn and adapt as new data comes in. So AI enables forecasting at a much more granular level, going beyond just predicting overall sales to forecast demand for specific products in specific locations, and even at specific time of the days. That's extremely beneficial for large retail chains, which need to adjust their predictions for very specific point of sales rather than overall chain average, right? Another area is inventory optimization. So the goal is to have just the right amount of inventory, enough to meet demand without incurring excessive holding costs, right? So AI helps find this sweet spot by considering factors like lead time, storage cost, spoilage rates, cost of stockouts. And AI can also recommend specific actions like adjusting reorder points, transferring stock between locations, or offering dynamic pricing to optimize inventory flow. And the last area I can think of right now is smart warehousing and logistics. So simple example could be route optimization, right? So imagine a delivery company using AI to reroute drivers around traffic accidents or road closures, like real-time rerouting. And it ensures timely delivers. It minimizes fuel consumption. So, well, that's actually what Google Maps delivers to you right now.
Okay, thank you very much for those real examples from our even daily use. And I would like to now have a question from Magda. So Magda, basing on a BrightNet extensive experience, what are the most common challenges that companies are facing when implementing AI and data analytics? And also, finally, how BrightNet can support them, help them overcome those challenges to ensure the smooth transition?
Okay, okay, let's start with the statement that challenges and AI walk in pair, for sure. And some roots of this can be found in the definition of AI as the tool that solves all words, problems, issues. Fortunately, this process of disenchanting AI and this understanding of AI is already happening, but we have had this narrative for a while that AI will help with everything, that AI needs to be used in every project, that a company not using AI is backward. And I think that a lot of misunderstanding links with AI implementations came from this approach. Because firstly, as we underline, not every organization is ready to implement AI. It needs some kind of preparation, the right data, the quality of this data, some history of this data. Secondly, not every topic needs to be solved with AI. What is more, there are situations in which we achieve even better results if we will use tools different than AI. For example, process mining in optimizing some processes. And the question is, of course, why? But I think that when the process is not well understood, if it cannot be easily represented in machine learning model, then AI is not necessarily the right direction, as well as in situations when we have a lot of deviations, different paths, some exceptions in the process. If then we will use blindly mathematical model, all these anomalies in the data cause calculation errors. And these calculation errors can have a disastrous effect on the whole project and on the business in the end. So to answer your question, Aneta, I think that many of the challenges linked with AI implementations might be avoided and might be mitigated if at the very beginning of the projects, we objectively admit to ourselves at what point of business and technological maturity we are. And the chosen partner, technological partner, as our advisor, should support us in this response, because this response is the key moment of AI implementations projects. Thanks to this answer, we can clearly get the information if the AI path we consider now is the right option, the best one, or perhaps only the most trendy one. And this trendy one might be really tricky and also very costly. So depending on the level of data advancement of the organization, BrightNet can support customers in different ways. We can just conduct an audit and propose some kind of recommendations. We can build a data lake solution. We can prepare just reports, or finally, we can implement mathematical models. But at all of these stages, when we support our customers, we have in back of our minds the next steps. Because, after all, nobody builds data warehouse just for a simple fact of having data warehouse. It is for something more. And it is undeniable that we need some plan, we need some stages, we need some steps, but we also need some bravery just to take this first step, just to lay some foundations, because without it, we will not move on. And I think that all of us will agree that standing still in business gets us nowhere. So it is the only way how we can achieve some things.
I completely agree, and thank you, Magda, for your really realistic approach in that case. Piotr, I could also see that you were nodding, so I believe that you also agree with that. What Magda said.
Yeah, definitely. And it's clearly connected to what we've said before, right? Without proper foundation and without proper why, you cannot do anything.
Exactly. So Piotr, coming back to you, when it comes to measuring the return of investment in AI, especially in sectors like retail, logistics, and manufacturing, how does BrightNet guide businesses to quantify and realize these benefits, even when the outcome might take some time to materialize?
That's actually a very good question, because it's often omitted. by customers, right? So they trying to implement something just for the sake of implementing AI, right? And once again, you need to start with the why. You need to tie your AI initiatives directly to your specific business goals. Are you aiming to reduce inventory cost by 10%? Or are you going to improve delivery times by 15%? Or do you want to increase forecast accuracy by 20%? You need to answer very specific questions for your business, and only then you can start building something, right? So establish this clear baselines for your key metrics before implementing AI is crucial. And this, of course, will give you a benchmark to compare the effects against what you did and demonstrate the impact of AI solution to your board, for example. But I would recommend not to boil the ocean with that. So we always want to start with something very focused, quite small, just to demonstrate value quickly, right? Because jumping into large AI project could kill you, basically, and that's what Magda said before. So these early wins will build confidence in your organization, and of course, will secure buy-in for larger investments. And as I said before, AI is not a one-time implementation, right? So it's continuous learning and improvement process. So you need to track your progress, analyze the results, and refine your AI models over time, just to maximize the impact of what you implemented.
Okay. So going a bit deeply once again to maybe discover some particular specific cases, could you, Magda, could you please provide us an example of retail company that really has seen significant measurable benefits through its partnership with Brightnet and AI-driven solutions?
The kind of example I really like to talk about and which we are part of is the automated recommendation project for a well-known Polish retail chain. And for this project, we developed a sales forecast and automated order recommendations and automated replenishment. And the tool is dedicated to franchises, and it is based on machine learning model. But of course, it also is within some kind of business of our main customer as well. And the model we built take into consideration many different factors. Some of them were already revealed by Piotr in his previous answers, but some factors that I can mention are, for example, sales history, current promotions, pack size and type of the packages of the products, shop space, distance from one shop to the another shop, product expiry days, and many more like weather forecasts, sport events, holidays, and so on. And thanks to this implementation of the AI-based solution, our customer achieved some tangible results, and he measured it. He set these KPIs that was also mentioned by Piotr, that it is necessary in such kind of projects, in every project, but in AI project, it is essential. So going to some numbers, just to give you some picture of it as well, sales increased by 16%. The availability of assortment in the store grew by 5%. And one of the most significant and most observed indicator in that industry, I mean, the value of assortment liquidation decreased by 16%. So the results are really real. And last result that was also measured within this project was time of creation orders by franchises, because as I mentioned, this tool is for them to make their life easier. And the time that they spent on it dropped from 90 minutes to 30 minutes. So all of it was achieved within the period of 3 years. So it is not a short project. And as Piotr mentioned, it needs some kind of learning processes, maintaining, keeping the space of the work within some time. But these results are real, they are measurable, they are tangible. And I believe that it is a proof that thoughtful and planned AI implementations can deliver the desired effects.
Thank you for this really great example and showing us the real effects of AI implementations. And for companies that are just in the beginning of the AI journey, Piotr, what steps would Brightnet recommend to ensure the successful adoption and long-term, as Magda mentioned, sustainability of AI and data analytics projects?
Yeah, so I would say strategy first. In this case, data strategy. So before diving into AI world, you need to have a clear data strategy. You need to understand your data landscape. You need to ensure your data quality. You need to establish data governance processes, right? So basically, AI thrives on good data. So you need to conduct a throughout assessment of your existing data assets. Where is your data stored? What formats is it in? What are the data quality issues? So this helps identifying gaps and opportunities as well. It is also important to implement clear policies and procedures for data management, including data quality control, access control, data privacy, right? And this ensures data integrity and compliance for current and future AI ventures within your company. And I will repeat myself, but once again, you need to start with why. You need to identify the right problems. You need to evaluate the feasibility of applying AI to these problems, right? So do you have the necessary data? Are there suitable AI techniques available on the market? And one crucial tip, before full-scale implementation, consider developing a proof of concept to just validate the potential of AI for the specific use case. And if you've got these two things in place, you need to choose a right partner. It's really critical for the success. Look for a partner with a demonstrable history of successful AI implementations, ideally in your industry or similar one, and ask for case studies and testimonials and things like that, right? A good partner understands the specific challenges and opportunities in your sector. So they can offer tailored solutions that address your unique needs because they are unique because you're in a specific sector. Ideally, your partner should offer a full range of service. So not only AI, but from initial strategy and data preparation, of course, AI model development as well, but deployment, ongoing maintenance, they should also be able to deliver everything around it. So build applications for the created models or integrate it with various systems, and even manage the projects because they are quite specific. And don't forget about intangible things like open communication. So choosing a partner, you need to choose one who is transparent, communicative, responsive, because these projects are not really easy. So this is quite crucial to have everything in place and under the control.
Those were very, very important and practical tips. So thank you for that, Piotr. And because we are slowly running out of the time, before we wrap up, Magda, are there any final comments that you would like to make about how Brightnet can support businesses in unlocking the full potential of AI and data analytics?
Sure, but before I answer the question, I would like to underline that I personally really love data area. And it is certainly fascinating to see what amazing predictions, wonderful forecasts, and optimizations can be achieved through proper use of data. And for sure, more than once, we will be amazed by the fact what concept is behind the idea of using AI. However, I also strongly believe that a kind of common sense and a sort of balance must be maintained in everything, and also in AI. And this is why in this pursuit of AI, I would like to see us, Brightnet, together with our customers, as partners who keep in mind not only trends, but also actual goals, the real indicators, the achievable methods. So I'm really in line with Piotr and what he said, because AI is not a value in itself. If we are not able to deliver more, better, faster, safer, maybe smarter, it means nothing. So at BrightNet, we would like to focus on the value rather than on the tool. And it is something that guides us in all conversations, in all discussions with our existing and potential customers, including unlocking potential of AI as well.
Okay, thank you once again. Okay, so now it is time, we are slowly running of it, but I promised that part, so I also would like to ask our participants in today's webinar, is there any question that you would like to ask? Is there something that you would like to go deeper into, anything that you would like to clarify or specify once again? Is there a space for you to ask the question? I also have one question prepared because I believe it's a valuable one. While waiting for your questions, I would like to ask it because, as you probably know, our previous webinar conducted with cooperation with Generali, one of our clients from insurance and financial sector. It was a webinar also about data. So I believe it's a quite good example. But Magda, because you are specialized in insurance and banking area as well, can you share some other examples of companies from this area which leverage AI-driven analytics?
Of course, and I think that I will use this opportunity to make some kind of summary of our today discussion as well, because I would like to show you, elaborate you more about 3 examples from this sector. One will be successful, second will be successful, but not possible to put into life, unfortunately. And third will be just not successful. And first example is I think that it is the most famous implementation of AI in insurance sector on the Polish market, because it is a project that takes place at largest insurer in our country. And the project is based on computer vision technology. And I think that it might be known to customers of this insurer, because when there is some kind of damage of the car, you can send a photo of this damage to the insurer, and thanks to algorithms that based on this photo, there is a kind of initial verification of this damage, and the decision is making by them about paying some insurance to the customer. And if the algorithm determines that there is something worrying in this photo, of course, it is sending to additional manual verification of the specialist. But in the majority of claims, the photo is sufficient in itself to define the damage and process it. And it makes the whole process, of course, safer for insurer, because it has some other verification than just manual by human, and faster and nicer out of perspective of customers, users of this application and this system. So it is definitely the big success, and it has changed the process of paying insurance and asking for them by customers. The second example will be also from insurance sector, but it will be more about insurtech companies, some kind of startup. We had a discussion with them, and also we prepared some proof of concept of the project. And it was about collecting and analyzing data about the driver's driving style, because the largest producers of car, of course, collect information about our dynamic of driving, speed, braking, and so on. So thanks to it, we can come up with some conclusions about the driver's driving style. It is made by our model, and thanks to it, insurer could assess the possibility, the risk of accident or crash in the context of the given driver. And this could be one of the factors that they will take into consideration when they will calculate the cost of insurance and prepare some conditions for the client. And in principle, the concept of using AI itself in this case was quite interesting. But unfortunately, there were some legal issues. There are some various types of regulations and limitations with putting it into life in Europe. So unfortunately, the proof of concept was successful, but there were some other indicators that should be also considered maybe in advance, maybe in some other moment of this project, but it doesn't happen. And the last third example shows that there are also some cases where an AI approach is not possible. And we had a proof of concept for one of the Polish banks, whose aim was to develop a model that will predict interruptions and errors in working of applications and systems of the bank. And the idea was great. And I am more than sure then financial and image return of this investment will be visible very fast. But unfortunately, the data we had, or rather the lack of data, lack of enough data, and not enough quality of this data, not enough history of the data, made it impossible to realize this idea at that time. And what is important, I would like to underline that it is normal and it is something natural, that not every AI project will be successful and not every AI project will bring the expected results, because this is a bit of an experiment, which should be rather a trial to firstly verify its feasibility at all, and secondly, to see if it will lead us to where we would like to be, where we have assumed to be. So I will assume today our meeting with those 3 examples.
Thank you very much, Magda, for this once again real, realistic examples and once again realistic approach to the subject. And also, I already get a feeling that I received your summary of this webinar, and because we are already out of the time, I would like to ask also Piotr for the last sentence. What are the key message from this webinar, the summary that you would like to share with us in the end, from your perspective?
So I need to repeat myself once again. So always start with why. Examples showed by Magda showed us exactly why you need to start with why. Why you need to start with something small, with POC, because in the second example you can easily boil the ocean, and then your investment would be huge, but with no ROI, right? So ask yourself, why do you need it? Assess yourself and prepare good foundations to build upon.
Thank you very much. So once again, I would like to thank you for your input, for all examples that you shared with us today, your time and the real tips and important tips that I believe that we received from you guys. So thank you, Magda. Thank you, Piotr. And I would like to also thank all our participants for being with us today, for listening to us. And I hope that those information that we could provide will be also helpful and useful for you in your adventure with AI and data. Thank you very much, and I hope that we see each other again in our next webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I stopped the streaming. I will stop recording right now.